Um, my first rehab, there was a guy in there for
For weed?
uh, well, no, not for weed, no, but
Oh.
he would make the joke because he ended up smoking weed, but he started with heroin.
Ah, there
So
you
he's like,
go.
I'm living proof that shooting heroin will he lead to ended up marijuana smoking weed, use. but he started with heroin. Heroin is a gateway drug.
Ah, there
So
you
he's like,
go.
I'm living proof.
That's hilarious. Weed doesn't lead to heroin. Heroin leads to weed, man. That's interesting because I knew a dude that I worked with. I worked in an assembly place, it was a shitty job. And a dude smoked weed because that's what he kicked heroin with.
Yeah,
So apparently that's
yeah,
not
that
as
happens a lot.
uncommon as you might think.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's generally referred to as the marijuana maintenance program.
Marijuana maintenance program. So
Yeah,
like,
you got like the toxin maintenance and that kind of shit. And it's the marijuana maintenance.
okay, they're maintaining their habit by just doing weed instead of doing something else or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
That's weird. I don't know. I don't know. That sounds weird. Are you ready for Brett Cooper as Snow White?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, yeah. So Shapiro's got his illegitimate daughter playing Snow White, dude. It's pretty fucking interesting.
I'm pretty sure that's Ben Shapiro in drag. I don't buy
Yeah,
that that's not Ben
yeah.
Shapiro. I still think it's Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
I've always thought that.
yeah,
I think Ben Shapiro
yeah,
likes to
yeah.
put on a
No,
dress
definitely
and
would
feel
not
like
be
a pretty, pretty
surprised.
girl because it looks exactly like Ben
Yeah.
Shapiro with tits.
Oh fuck. Yeah, no, yeah. When I first saw that picture, I'm like, oh, is that a deep fake with Ben Shapiro as Snow White? Like, oh no, it's Brett Cooper. Well, I guess it probably could be if your theory is correct.
Yeah. Oh man. It's like the
So
D and D
fucking.
people I watch. I know I posted a picture of them here, but like they don't look like a couple. They look like a brother and sister duo. And they're like
Yeah,
having a kid, and you're like, that kid's gonna have fucking tentacles. Like I don't believe for a second that these are not fucking at
yeah,
least
that'd be
cousins.
cool,
Like
but
there's no way they look this similar by chance.
yeah, no, yeah, she definitely looks just like a slightly younger race swapped Ben Shapiro.
Oh no! I should no. I said there's also a couple on that do D&D videos that I think I've posted
Oh,
a
I got
picture
you.
of once
Sorry,
here.
sorry,
Yeah, that also
sorry.
look
I
like
was
they're
gonna say.
siblings, where it's like, but they're both on the screen at the same time, and you're like, they're definitely at least cousins.
Yeah, like those two gotta be fucking related.
It's
I
like
hear you.
they have the same
Yeah, it's always
exact
spooky.
shade of hair, the same shape of face. They
Mhm.
both wear similar like glasses, but like their faces look like cousins at the very least, if not brother and sister. It's really
Mhm.
weird. I'm like,
So they're like, yeah, they're each like, hey, you look like my mom. Hey, you look like my dad.
yeah, exactly. And it's like that's should have been enough for them to be
Yeah,
like, ew, no.
yeah. If that theory of you marry your parent or whatever is true, that's probably what's going on with them.
Oh, gross. I gotta say, none of
Yeah,
the people I've ever been attracted to have ever had any resemblance to my family.
yeah. Me
That's
neither.
nice.
All right. Yeah, that would be fucking creepy.
Oh. Yeah, I love that Disney has all these options available to them on how to deal with the potential competition of another company making like a film, or the what do you call them? Matt and Trey Parker making fun of them on um,
And South Park.
South
Yeah.
Park. Like they have all these options to deal with it, but the one they don't want to choose is make a quality product that people want more than will be affected by either of those groups of people. It's like that's all you got to
Yeah, it's
do.
really.
Like make a better product. People will leave you alone.
Yeah, I think they just got so used to just being able to put out like mediocre bullshit
Well,
and
the
getting away
corporate
with it because
business
they're
model
fucking
is no
Disney.
longer about putting out a good product. It's about preventing competition so you can charge whatever you want. Like it used to be about competing against all the other like small businesses out there, but after the COVID thing, they just shut them all down. So now it's just like because like Mountain Dew, my brother drinks like Diet Mountain Dew, really digs it or whatever. $10 for a 12 pack of Mountain Dew. And you
Yeah,
know it
Jesus
doesn't
Christ.
cost $10 to make a 12 pack of Mountain Dew. It probably costs about $2, if
Yeah,
it's
it's like
even that.
90% fucking sugar and then fucking caffeine and
Whoa, it's not even
whatever
90%
weird
sugar.
flavor.
It's like 95% water. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
it's not
Yeah,
even
I
that
meant as far as
expensive as
ingredients.
sugar.
Yeah,
It's just water with a lot of sugar added in.
yeah, and some weird flavoring in there somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, the Mountain Dew is a citrus flavoring blend. I know that much. It's like orange and lime and lemon with
yeah,
some sort of mix.
yeah. I love that it started as a drink mixer. That's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It started as a whiskey specifically for whiskey, for mixing with whiskey. And everybody wants to
Yeah,
be like, no, it's not. And it's like, no, it really was what it was for. It was for whiskey, and if you mix it with whiskey now, it tastes delicious. It doesn't seem like it should. I'll grant you that. It really doesn't seem like that should be the as tasty as it sounds, but it is really quite tasty stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, but I really getting tired of like the companies, instead of just making better products, shutting other companies down. That's starting to get really
yeah, yeah.
disturbing.
I guess that is kind of the communistic model. Is just yeah, there's one company that makes the shit, so they can charge whatever the fuck they want.
Yep. Yeah, and people don't seem to understand why that would be like a bad thing. They're like, oh yeah, whatever, and you're like, you don't understand why that's wrong. Like that doesn't. Nothing about that says to you like, oh, maybe this is a problem.
Yeah, they don't seem to understand how well competition breeds innovation.
Yeah.
Like it's not a big deal in like food shit, but like I mean in any fucking industry,
Well, it becomes a big deal when it
competition is
comes
a
to just
fucking
like
meat.
affordability of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like there's
Yeah,
hundreds of thousands of apartments and houses that are intentionally left empty and no one is allowed to live in, so that these corporations that are buying up all the houses and apartment buildings can charge $2,000 for a studio apartment because there's no other options because they own them all and they've shut them down. Like, and that's not what you want. Like, that's why it's like maybe we shouldn't have corporations allowed to own homes.
yeah, that's a big part of BlackRock's thing, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to buy up all the fucking houses and then just rent them out so nobody but them can fucking
Well,
own
no, they already
houses.
have for the most part. That's the problem. Like, there's
Yeah.
literally, as we're talking right now, there's literally thousands upon thousands of apartments and houses that, not just BlackRock, but the companies like BlackRock own, that they're
Yeah,
leaving
trying to
empty
charge
intentionally.
ridiculous fucking
Well, no, they're
yeah,
they're leaving them
ridiculous
open.
prices.
They're leaving them empty. They're keeping them empty so that they can create false scarcity, and then that's what's driving
Oh,
the
okay, I
prices on the
got you.
housing market up. So if you've
Yeah, so they're
got a
not
whole
even
apartment
renting them.
building in a big city, and there's like 2 or 3 major apartment buildings that just no one lives in, then like, you know, you can charge an arm and a leg for all the rest of the apartments because they have nowhere else to go. You're the only game in town now. It's a
Yeah,
real
it's
issue. Like,
pretty fucking disgusting.
there's like stories and stuff you can read online of the people that like live in these almost empty apartment buildings where like no one is allowed to rent. Like they happen to have gotten in there and their lease is such that they can't be thrown out for a while, and they're like, it's weird because it's really really quiet, and then they look around and they realize like it's so quiet because literally no one else is in that building but them. So they're walking around like these apartment buildings, like 100 apartments that are empty.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking nuts, dude.
One of the guys was like, he wanted to test the theory, and he's like, I gotta know. So he pulled the fire alarm, and literally he was the only one that left. Like, how nuts is that?
So yeah, everything sucks.
Yep.
It's such, yeah, I don't know, man. It seems so. A lot of it seems pretty short-sighted.
Oh, this is all gonna
Doesn't seem like it's
go
sustainable.
fucking sideways in such a bad way sooner or later. Like, that's just inevitable.
Yeah, you would think these companies would fucking understand that.
Yeah, you would, exactly. You would think that, but nah, they don't seem to care. I think the thing is, we've taken away any form of consequence for any of the actions of the elite class at this point.
Right.
So, like, essentially we just have this ruling class that literally nothing is ever going to happen to. No matter what they do to us, or how much destruction they wreak upon the rest of society. Like, they're never going to go to prison. They're never going to go to jail. They're never going to be named and shamed in public in the newspapers. None of that is ever going to happen. They're just going to get to do whatever they want and take their money and live in absolute insane luxury, while the rest of the people are just miserable. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is there's no consequences. If there was consequences for their actions, it'd be guaranteed that would fucking change. But
yeah,
like,
they've got nothing to fear, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely no fucking fear, dude.
I mean, what was it? The one guy basically got away with murder because he was too wealthy to understand consequences.
Oh yeah, affluenza, I believe it's called.
Yeah, he had affluenza, so he couldn't be held responsible for killing people, and because he was blitzed out of his fucking mind while he was driving.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Oh! I heard the fucking craziest shit the other day. One of my coworkers lives in assisted housing, like for affordable housing, so that they can like have a place to stay. Because we earn so little money at $20 an hour that we qualify for that. That's insane. But she was talking about like it's so ridiculous with the affordable housing that like you can make 3 or 4 hours of overtime in the course of like one paycheck and suddenly stop qualifying for it because you made too much money and they'll just take it away.
Wow, that's fucking close.
And
Jesus, dude.
You know how much it costs still for like a studio apartment? $1,500.
Way too much?
$1,500 for a studio,
dude.
and that's affordable housing. Like, I couldn't pay $1,500 a month and still have any. I would owe money every month more than I could possibly make.
Yeah, you'd have to have a fucking ride a bicycle to work.
Even then, even if I gave literally every single penny that I earned to the rent, I would still owe more money every month. Each and every month, I'd have to borrow more and more money to make the rent.
Yeah, it's so fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, at $20 an hour.
Yeah, like, dude, how recently was that a fucking hell of a fucking wage? Like,
right?
You know what I mean?
That's
it hasn't
a good
been
wage.
that long.
When I was coming up, that was a good wage. Now it's barely anything.
Oh,
I mean, it's scary.
thanks, man. You too. Oh, sorry, man. Package delivery.
Nice. Good stuff.
I have no idea. It's for my mom.
Ah, okay. You probably don't want to open that.
Nah, I'll bring it in a minute.
It's rude to open people's packages.
Indeed. I'll bring it inside as soon as
That was one of my dad's
finished
fucking major issues. Like, that was just maddening. He always has to know what you got. if you got a package. He's like,
Oh,
what'd you
wow.
get? What'd you get? It's like, none of your fucking business. Like, honestly, like, dude, seriously, why are you even asking?
Okay.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah, it is a little odd.
The only time I ever ask is when somebody obviously wants you to, where they're like, "Ooh, it's finally here." You're like, "Oh, okay, what is it?" You know, like you obviously you want to share, so share, and that's fine with me. But yeah, the demand to know what it is every time was just real weird to me. And then he would
Yeah.
legitimately get mad if you wouldn't tell him.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a bit odd.
Yeah, I did consider buying some extreme sex toys just to fuck with him, but they
Yeah, go
cost
and
a
open it
lot
up.
of
Check it out,
fucking
Pop.
money.
Right.
Like, you
What
can
are they,
buy like a
6,000,
6-foot
7,000?
dildo, but it's like, it's going to cost you $500, and it's like, well, I mean, that's a little expensive for a lesson. I can't pay rent. I sure as heck am not spending like $500 on a joke dildo.
Yeah, unless you had a fucking return policy, I guess. Like, yeah, I'm gonna order
Oh,
it.
I
I'll
never
pay the
even
shipping,
thought of
I
that.
guess.
I don't know why I never even thought of it. I never even thought of returning it. That's so funny. I don't know why. Like, it makes sense, because, yeah, that would be super easy to just return. Like, I imagine sex toy companies are probably once it's out of the sealed package, you're not allowed to return it things, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah, you
For
can't be like, hey, I
similar
fucked it
reasons.
once, and I just decided it wasn't for me, so, I mean, I cleaned it up, right?
Yeah.
I did fuck it once, but I still want to return it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty gnarly. But I assume it's just, it's the same thing as like when movies and games, you can't return what you've used.
Yeah.
Well, especially movies and games, because you can just make a copy of them and steal it that way.
Yeah, and those things are usually like custom, right? Like you actually choose all the fucking, what do you call it?
Sex toys?
The
I mean, there's
appearance
just
of
so
it?
many of them. I mean, it runs the gamut. There's a massive amounts. There's so many lonely people.
There's 2 Amazon Prime trucks. What the fuck? You guys are busy.
Damn.
There's like 2 Amazon Prime trucks. Like one of them obviously dropped the package off here. Oh, it must have put a breakdown. I think it must have broke down.
Yeah.
They're unloading packages from one to the other.
Let's see, there's 3 sites that I can think of, just that I can think of offhand, that have advertised on YouTube for their sex toys. So there's got to be hundreds of different kinds of sex toys.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's 3 random sites and they're all advertising on YouTube. That suggests fairly big amounts of business.
Yeah, they're doing all
running
right. Yeah. They're doing a robust business, dude.
Yeah, a robust business is one way to put it. Their business is coming into its prime. Yeah. Actually, I did buy a sex toy as a joke once, but that was a long time ago, and we went to like an adult bookstore and picked it up for a friend of mine who was graduating college. So we got him like a gay masturbator thing, and it was pretty funny because his parents were there, and he was like, "You son of a bitch, you can't get that. I can't open that in front of my parents." And I was like, "Yeah, I think you could."
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sure
I'm okay with you doing that.
Dude, I would fucking love to have that, dude. You gotta film just the parents' reaction, dude. Like have one film,
he
do a
was
flip
not
screen
gonna
action.
do it.
Have one film him opening it, and then have this other camera right on the parents' faces.
His parents
it?
were fucking uptight, fucking whiny bitches. They would have. I
Dude,
could
that makes it even
understand where he
better.
was coming from.
Dude, that's even better.
And then that poor guy grew up in like the most what do you call it? The least amount of personal privacy of anybody I've ever met. He had to
Yeah,
there
just a
was
really
it was him, his sister, his mom, and his dad in a 2-bedroom house. So he had to share a room with his sister, and they had like one bathroom. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that's a rough one, dude. Jesus.
But then again, it could have been worse.
Yeah, like 2 brothers or 2 sisters, but a brother and sister, just that's a little weird.
Was it
I guess not.
his aunt and uncle lived next door, and they had 15 kids because welfare pays you per kid.
Right.
Literally 15 children. He hated them so much.
Oh, his parents?
No, he hated his aunt and his uncle and all the nephews and nieces because there were 15
Yeah,
of
I
them.
can imagine.
And it's like every year they all have to have like special birthdays, and his parents, because they have jobs, are expected to like buy gifts for them and shit like that. I'm sure.
Yeah, fuck that, dude.
Oh,
I'd get him one communal gift for all 15 of them.
I can't imagine how you would remain civil with even your own family. Like I don't think I could remain civil with people that are like just using the system that way. Like I would just be, you're a piece of shit. I fucking hate you.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one, dude.
Man, 15 children. That's got to be a wacky fucking family now, like 20 years in the future. When all the kids are adults.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Jesus Christ, dude. Like it's, yeah. Just raising a few kids is kind of a pain. Because again, I would say I raised, mine and the ex's 2 kids for fucking nearly a decade.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
raising 5 times as many kids, dude, as that. That's fucking nuts, dude.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, fuck that.
You're just not adventurous enough. You gotta really get out there and embrace life. Alright, what else is in the queue? Oh, we already talked about the Bruce Willis thing, I think.
Oh yeah, him not bothering to memorize lines, or not able to memorize.
Probably
Apparently.
Not able to, yeah. I think he looks in pretty rough shape mentally. And then the yearly reminder that sugar rush is not really a thing. You don't actually get a sugar rush. Like you don't have to worry about your kids eating a bunch of candy and then going out like psychotic. It may be learned behavior because you treated them like they were nuts all the time or something after they eat sugar, so now they've learned to behave like that. But it's not from the sugar.
Became like expected. Yeah, like subconscious kind of expectation. Exactly. Oh, you're just hyper because of the sugar.
Oh yeah, I think the best one of those that I've ever seen was this lady used to walk this little dog around the block, and just the second she would see anyone else on the street, you could see her whole body tense up. And the dog would just start getting more and more aggressive, like the closer you got. And it would just be like viciously, and it was a little itty bitty dog, so it wasn't like it was going to do a lot of damage. But it was like viciously like barking and straining to get at you. And it was like, lady, can you not tell that this is just because you're freaking out? Like, if you just settle down, this dog is going to be fine, I guarantee you. It's a little itty-bitty dog. It don't want to fight. It wants to carry around in a purse or something.
Incredibly intuitive. Yeah, they definitely sense your fucking emotions and all that shit. Especially if you're holding the leash real tight, like they can fucking feel it, dude.
Yep.
So they're like, oh, I guess I gotta protect her. She's scared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was tempted to be like, do you want to try walking your dog by a couple times just to see like what it takes for it to calm down? Like,
yeah.
But
Get
I
the
didn't
Caesar
want
Milan
to.
on her, dude.
She was already so fucking anxious and nervous. I was like, I just don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, it's like 90% of the fucking problems on that fucking the Dog Whisperer show or whatever. It's like, yeah, he's reading your energy. You're tensing up. So he has to go into protect mode.
Yeah, exactly. You're the leader. He's nervous as shit because you're nervous as shit.
Indeed.
Oh, also the reminder that so far there hasn't been any cases of people poisoning candy. Like and giving it out to random kids.
Yeah. Yeah, every year. That always pops up for the Halloween season.
Yeah, like check the candy and you're like, why?
Right. Who the fuck? Yeah. I assume it has happened. But
the only case
Christ,
that's
dude.
ever happened of children being poisoned or getting any tampered candy with was from their own father. And it was was a case where he was doing it out of some sort of weird, fucked up revenge on his wife kind of thing.
Wow.
So it was like, that's the only known case that's ever occurred that you can confirm.
Jeez.
So yeah, which is really fucked up. The more you think about it, the more like, oh, that really sucks. But it's just, like,
that one guy.
Yeah, most people
everybody.
have no interest in harming children. At least, like randomly killing them, like thing.
Right.
We covered this New York City thing.
Yeah, it is a little weird. I think we can all agree that kids fucking suck.
Yeah, I hate children.
So,
but
yeah,
I've never given
surprising.
poison candy. That's really fucking sad.
Yeah. Instead of just avoiding them, just don't be where children are. No, I gotta kill them. Fuck them. Shitty children grow up to be shitty adults, so I'm gonna cut them down before they get there.
Yeah, really. I'm not against it. It's just I don't want to do all that extra work.
Yeah.
I'm all for culling the herd. That's fine with me. If we can eliminate like the amber herds of society ahead of time, that's totally cool. Or the Logan Pauls.
Yeah, any really cute kids. Any attractive, well, I shouldn't say attractive, Jesus Christ. Any cute kids, fucking finish them off. Before they grow up to be horrible fucking adults.
Carefully fucking choose your language.
Yeah, that was a fucked up one.
Oh, so who's worse, Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis? I like that you put. I didn't watch the video because I know both of them, and I'm just like I don't know how you would choose which one's worse.
Yeah, it's 1 and 1A, whatever way you want to put them. They're both fucking horrible.
Yeah, I just was like confused by that thumbnail from the guy Coffee Zilix. I'm like, how do you pick?
Yeah.
Maybe you could pick based on who's stolen the most money. So then it would be like an objective measure, like, well, Logan Paul stole like $2 million more than Dylan, so he's objectively the worst one or something. I don't know if that's an accurate amount of money. I don't know how much they each stole. I know it was like millions on both parts.
Yeah, it's tens of millions probably on both counts. Although again, it's kind of hard to feel sorry for anybody that was like, how do you not know these fucking dudes are full of shit?
I think there's just a lot of really ignorant people out there. It's like, if you look at the YouTube comments on some of the YouTube videos out there that are just really, really obviously not real stuff.
Right.
You look at the thing, it's like, there's a lot of people that just are awful people who are stupid. There's really fucking stupid people out there. It's really bizarre. Like, I was, there was a thing I saw where it was a YouTube short where, like, the guy who installed this dude's hardwood floors, didn't want to tell him what kind of stain he used because they wanted to make him pay, like, $2,000 for, like, repairing, like, 2 small scratches on his floor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he was like, well, I'm sure obviously he's gonna, you know, go somewhere else. I mean, who wouldn't, right? You know, like, you wouldn't spend more than you would spend on putting hardwood floors in an entire room of your house to fix 2 scratches. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, but he was like, oh, it's a proprietary blend. The number of people that are on this dude's side is absurd. It's like, no, it's a chemical he put in your house, and he needs to tell you what kind. Like, that's not an okay thing for him to refuse to inform you of.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually pretty concerning that anyone would think that that's okay. And to be fair, yeah, you know, maybe the guy who had the flooring installed should have thought of that in advance and asked for that information to be given to him. But, like, come on, man, like, this is ridiculous that this guy's going to try to hold him hostage for $2,000. Because honestly, like, I would just get the floor restained for $2,000. You can restain the floor. Like,
do the whole fucking thing, dude.
have somebody else come in and just, like, sand down, because they're real hardwood floors. Somebody can just come sand down the scratches, which would take, what, like a couple of minutes, and then restain the whole floor again. That's basically where where else would you want to go at that point? But
yeah, that definitely seems excessive. $2,000 to fix a couple scratches? What the fuck?
Yeah, but
dude?
the number of people who were on this guy's side was just way too much.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I don't know. People are fucking weird. You frame it in the right way, whether deliberately or not, and people are gonna fucking feel sorry for you.
Oh, here's the thing. They literally are just like, that's how you do business. You created a proprietary thing. If somebody doesn't, that's how you make your money. It's perfectly acceptable to rip people off if you're clever about it, was basically the gist of everybody's comment. Nobody was actually trying to reason that it was a morally acceptable thing to do. Right. It was literally just like, everybody was literally just like, yeah, he ripped him off fair and square. What's your fucking problem, you pussy? You don't like how business is done? Get the fuck out of the world. You know? It was just like, Jesus Christ.
God damn, dude.
There was a huge amount of the people there was like very much agreed. They all very much agreed that it was totally acceptable to rip someone off because he did it he did it well. It's so sad and scary. It's just like, that's the future? Like, wow.
That is definitely fucking nuts.
Yeah, can you imagine? Fucking... If every business was like that, oh, that'd be so miserable. Oh, did you see the thing nuts, about the LA wants to force the hotels to any rooms they have on every single day? They want the hotels to report how many rooms they're not renting that night. And then they'll just send over a homeless person with a voucher for the money for the hotel room for that night.
Wow.
That's what they want to do. They want to force hotels to just take homeless people in.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll take care of the room. They won't fuck it up. They won't shit on the carpet or do any weird shit.
Yeah, it's just like, there's that, but there's also, hotel rooms aren't cheap. Like, can you imagine how much that's going to end up costing the city at the end of the year to keep, like, maybe 30 or 40 people let's say, I mean, LA is a really big city. Its population is well into the millions. Let's say there's 100 people a night that could maybe get into these hotel rooms. That's like probably because there's going to be expensive hotels and cheap hotels. So you'd say probably around 100 to 150 bucks a night on average for every one of them. Like, that's going to add up to hundreds and thousands of dollars at the end of the year. Way, way, way more than building a whole new shelter would. You know what I mean? Like, you can house as many people by building a really good shelter for that same amount of money. But they're going to try to get it funded through federal grants and stuff. So it wouldn't just be the California paying for it or LA paying for it. It would also be people like you in New Mexico and Florida, because it's all federal money that they're trying to grab for it. I don't know that it's going to work. I think it's going to end up failing because it's very obviously unconstitutional. You can't force somebody to turn over their private property to the government. Like, they couldn't come into your house and just be like, you have to house all these soldiers. They can't go into somebody's hotel and you have to house all these homeless people. Like, that's just not constitutional. But what an insane proposition. Like, that's no foresight whatsoever, because those hotels are going to go out of business quick. Not just because of damage, but
want to stay?
Yeah, who's going to want to stay with the fucking junkie down? Yeah. Junkie screaming all night in the fucking hotel room because he's all messed up on something and angry at imaginary stuff that he's seeing.
Yeah, it's another example of that. Like, it sounds like a good idea, but you think it through, and the people that are on the streets, and a lot of mental illness, a lot of that shit. Yeah, they're going to be a fucking problem, dude. A decent chunk of them, some of them may be fine, but yeah. You're probably not gonna have a single night ever where at least one of them's causing a fucking scene.
Well, yeah, and whether they're nice or not it's the drugs is what's going to be the problem. I think it's another case of the people writing laws not based on reality, but based on how they want reality to be. More of that kind of shit going on.
Yeah, just this sounds like a good idea, so let's do it. Don't think it through.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a nice thing to do, and then it's going to turn out magical, despite all evidence to the contrary.
And it's like giving free money and letting people camp out and do all the drugs they want to a bunch of homeless people in all these major cities, and they're like, why do homeless people keep flocking to these cities and chasing away all the tourism and all the other things that brought money into the city? I don't understand it.
It's a real mystery.
So weird, man. But yeah, it's just like such a bizarre world we've moved into. Oh yeah, the sniper wolf thing keeps getting better. Just every fucking... She's just fucking spiraling out of control so fast.
Yeah, it's the one that showed up at Jacksepticeye's house.
Jack's house and fucking came in at 3 a.m. and was like, we're just trying to have adult conversation like real grown-ups. And it's like, you showed up at his house at 3 a.m, you crazy bitch. It's not a normal, mature way of handling shit.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to communicate that don't involve you showing up at his house, regardless of what fucking time of day, really. Dude.
And don't involve you doxing in live stream,
Yeah, that bitch is nuts.
Man.
Yeah, I remember her complaining. She was trying to claim that people were copying her fucking like she's doing like base level reaction shit, right?
Yeah.
And she's trying to claim that people are stealing her fucking style or whatever.
Well, and then
Like,
the
also
irony is
react-
we come to find out that she didn't actually react to anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It was all
basically
fucking scripted.
Yeah, and 90% of what she does is just saw on the fucking screen.
Yeah, it's just sad.
You know what I mean? Like it's better than what Jinx did back in the day. Where he just would say like, "Oh," or "Damn," like every 10 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty fucking ridiculous, dude.
I don't know how you would
Yeah, no, you
sit in
invented
front of the camera for that long and say nothing but like, "Oh," or "Damn" every 10 minutes. I don't think I ever watched this Jinx person.
Yeah, it was from a while. It was
do.
several. Yeah, that was several years ago. He was one of the worst because he hardly said anything. Very little commentary at all.
Nutty.
Yeah, but yeah, she's not doing much more. Like she's saying words. What she's really doing is recapping what you just watched.
Yeah,
Not
there's
really
a lot of
making a
react where
comment.
that's all they do is they go like, "Oh wow, did you see that guy get hit by that car?" Like, yeah, we were both watching the same video, asshole. Like I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, dude. Yeah, or XQC is another one. I just apparently he's super popular for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
that dude was
seen...
basically the same thing.
I've never understood why he is so incredibly popular. Because I've seen clips of him and he's boring as fuck. And it's just like I don't know how you would why you would want to watch that for that long. It's just so terrible.
Yeah, well, I was watching one clip they were showing of him where he literally got up while the video was playing and like left for like 5 minutes to go get something to eat or make himself something to eat. Didn't bother pausing the video or anything, dude. Literally just got up and fucking walked off for 5 minutes. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. At least pretend. Pause the goddamn video.
And then there's the what's that dude that just fucking whines for money?
You're gonna have to narrow that way down, dude.
Phil or something? Dark Side Phil, I think?
Oh, Dark Side Phil. Oh yeah, Jesus.
Really well done for being just kind of like a whiny bitch for money. Like, oh, you guys, I gotta fucking pay my rent. You gotta donate money to me now. Give me money.
Yeah,
like, why
I think
aren't
it's
you guys
actually
giving me more money. I need more money.
I think it might finally be drying up because his is. Well, he at least he's just a really he plays video games. He sucks at them, so that's kind of entertaining. So I kind of understand people wanting to, continue donating to him like a little bit, like just enough to keep him going. You know what I mean?
Because he's entertainingly bad.
Yeah. But there's he has whales that give him hundreds, thousands of fucking dollars. I'm like, you really like this shit? Like, you're not watching ironically? I'm like, Jesus, dude, he sucks. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Oh yeah, well I mean, there's like those as long as there's a girl on a stream, somebody out there is gonna donate like a couple $100, like just throw it at them.
Yeah.
Because what they're hoping is that they're gonna get laid. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna throw this couple $100 down, and bitch is gonna fucking suck my dick. That's what they're hoping. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that's what's gonna happen. But, that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah, that parasocial bullshit, dude. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
See, here's the thing, though. I don't like that word. Because I don't feel that it's an accurate term. Because, it's not a parasocial thing when you're talking about, streamers and their fans. It's a direct social connection.
Right.
Like, you're not talking through some sort of game. Like, you're just talking to them on the stream. They're reading your thing that you wrote. They're responding back verbally directly to you. That's a social
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, that is direct. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
like
right.
they're not
Yeah,
boyfriend, girlfriend, they're not best friends, they're acquaintances at best, but that is a real relationship, not a parasocial relationship.
yeah, I
And
got
I
you.
think they
Yeah,
use
I
that
guess that
term
is.
to make it sound less shitty that they use that to suck money out of these fucking people who are lonely. But that's what it is. But then again, that's to be fair, that's not all streamers. Some streamers are just very entertaining. Like they play video games, they're either good at it or they're bad at it, but they make it like entertaining for their audience. They're playing stuff that the audience wants to see, and
Right.
so it's not quite as bad. But yeah, it's just weird. That's something I'd be interested to see. Like if I could live for another couple thousand years, I'd love to see where that kind of thing ends up, down like the extreme, because it's obviously it's not going to go away. Like you're going to always have like streamers now, and you're always going to have fans that you give them money to keep doing it. But I'd love to see like down the road like how weird that gets. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
And and I also kind of wonder. I'm sure it'll come out eventually, but like like the OnlyFans and Patreon is some of the people on there use that as a way to find people who are willing to pay a much larger payment for sex than you would normally get just hooking, or even just being like an escort in your local city kind of thing. And these girls are basically, they're really high class prostitutes, a lot of them.
Right.
And I'd love to see when that comes, like if that eventually comes out, where people are like, yeah, if you donated, X amount of money to this, Belle Delphine, and you paid for the hotel room, you could have sex with her for $20,000 or something to go, or something, like I don't know if Belle Delphine's one of them, but I mean there's a lot of these girls that do that shit.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, everyone's got a price.
And
Yeah, and I'm sure there's dudes out there for whatever reason.
oh yeah, I'm sure it's not just chicks that sell sex online.
They say Rorschach. I'm doing do you remember in Skyrim the drinking contest?
Oh yeah, where the guy challenged you to drinking contest, and you go unconscious and wake up, and you have to retrace all the wackiness you did.
Yeah. Apparently I got to go to Rorschach this time. Because you always end up at the Temple of Dibella in Markarth.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, clean up, pick up your trash, and I'll tell you something. Okay.
To be fair, there was a lot of really weird shit you left on the floor, so I can kind of understand where they're coming from. Plus, you have an opportunity to
this
steal
one, it was
from
just
them.
it was a giant's toe and a couple of wine bottles, and then there was a repair thing. Hold on, let me see what it said. Repair supplies. Oh, and it's Sanguine. His name's Sanguever or whatever it is, but it's the Daedric Prince Sanguine,
Yeah.
whatever it is. All right, and so it says, we need the following to repair the broken staff. Giant's toe, holy water, hagraven feather. All right. I guess I got to go to Rorikstead.
Damn.
Yeah. And Sam and the staff in Rorikstead. Oh shit, I'm supposed to find the staff? Okay, I guess we just gotta follow that. It listed them underneath, like, as if, it was supposed to be where I was at. It's been a while since I played through this. I remember you go to whatever, his realm or whatever, and they're having some kind of fucking party.
Yeah.
I don't remember any details.
Yeah, it's the Wabbajack, right? That's what you get at the end of it.
No, it's the Sanguine Rose, the one that has a rose at the top of it.
Oh, okay. The Wabbajack was
Yeah.
the other one. Oh, the guy from that other city. Never mind.
Yeah, the Wabbajack is Sheogorath, the insane guy.
The
insane
insane god. The crazy guy. He's wild and crazy.
Oh gosh. Okay, it looks like oh shit. Oh yeah. Apparently you sold one of this guy's goats to a giant. Okay. After repaying the soldier in Whiterun. Okay. Talk to your soldier in Whiterun. Okay. So I gotta go back to Whiterun. The Sanguine Rose is a pretty cool staff. Again, it's like a wooden staff with the rose on the top. It's pretty cool looking. I think each petal comes off like every time you use it like that.
Really?
If I remember correctly. I think so. I have to double check it. Yeah, look it up. I could just play the fucking game, I guess, but whatever. Internet's faster. Come on. But yeah, I'll post let's see if I can get a picture of it and share in case you don't remember. Oh, Skyrim. Skyrim. Then a lot of stuff shows up in different. There's different iterations of all this shit. But yeah, the Sanguine Rose is one of the cooler looking staffs, I think.
There was a lot of really great looking shit in those games, man. Like
Yeah,
the
Daedric armor.
glass armor and weapons were fucking phenomenal. I really liked the look of those. I was always kind of sad that I had to upgrade out of glass because glass looked so cool.
Yeah.
Daedric
the
looks
Nightingale
good,
armor.
Oh, the Nightingale. Yeah, Nightingale looked pretty good. It was always kind of cool being able to put your stuff on racks and mannequins and stuff.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. You just show off all the cool loot you got.
There's
the Sanguine Rose.
What
in
was
the Discord if you're interested.
What was the thing you got? Mods. There was like a mod where you could buy a house that was like primarily just filled with like mannequins. And it was super popular because everybody just wanted to like use the mod where you got like 20 fucking mannequins in a house, and they basically just made a museum for all the shit you found. Because you upgrade so fast to like dragon tier stuff that there's really no use for most of the stuff in the game, kind of sadly.
Yeah. I mean, it is nice to have one spot, because there's plenty of, I mean, with all the houses you get in the vanilla, especially with what the fuck is which, I forget the name of it, but the one DLC that gave you the extra houses in like 3 different spots.
Yeah.
Just out in the middle of nowhere. A Hearthfire or something like that.
Hearthfire, yeah, because it was also the one that allowed you to adopt kids and have like a property manager. I forget what they called him. Thor something or other.
God damn it. Not a Thane. Wait, is it a Thane?
You were a Thane. Housecarl. Yes, it was getting a Housecarl.
Housecarl, right?
You had to go attain being a Thane in like all these different areas. It was
then you could buy the property. Yeah.
You had to go and become a Thane in all the places where you couldn't already buy a house.
Yeah, there's 3 spots. There's one, I think, in Falkreath. There was one in, I forget the name of the places, but one by Falkreath, I think,
Markarth?
No, not Riften. Markarth. Well, you could get a house in Markarth. I don't think it was. Let me see. Yeah, I think it was in 3 spots where you couldn't get a house. So, Falkreath, no, Windhelm's there. Is Windhelm the same as...
Windhelm was the murder one.
God damn it.
Where you had to solve the murder to get the house?
Yeah. Earth fire houses. Here we go. So let's see, 5 pre-bolt. Yeah, so you get 5 already in every hold. So yeah, so the 3 holds that don't have houses. There's 3 of the holds. Let's see. Hold on, I should list it here. And no, it's not possible to own property in every hold except winter hold. Although there you get the Archmage's quarters, which is pretty cool. It's pretty close.
It's essentially a house. It's just in a tower.
Yeah. Let's see, I'm trying to find shed. Okay, the Pale. Where the fuck is the Pale? I'm trying to remember where the Pale is.
The Pale was
Shell March is where Winterhold is. Or no, not Winterhold. God damn it. Yeah, okay. Let's see. The snowy tundras of the Pale. Hold on, I hope this shows the map of it. Shell March is up north, I know that. Hey, come on, show the map, goddammit. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. So it's basically south and west of Winterhold. Like it's, it goes all the way to the Sea of Ghosts, and then like it goes down like a little strip, and then over to the east to where like Windhelm and Winterhold are. Okay, and then what was the other one I said? Shell March. Where the hell's Shell March? Oh, that's right next to it's just west of that's where Morthal is. That's Shell March. Okay, so the Pale again up north. Basically south and west of Winterhold, and then Hjalmarch is one of the other ones that's just west of the one I just said.
It was a clever way of getting people to go to these areas they'd never bothered with and to actually interact with the content. Yeah. But as it turned out, like there was a reason you didn't really interact over there. It's because the content wasn't really that great.
Yeah. Although even Dawnstar, like you had the Sanctuary after you, if you Dark Brotherhood quest, like you had the Dawnstar Sanctuary, which was pretty nice little fucking digs.
Yeah, you either get the Dawnstar Sanctuary, or you get like a big area of the soldiers that you can live in. What is it? The group that was fighting them. If you side with the Empire. But like you got like an area you could basically like a bed and like a chest and stuff in like the fort,
Okay, yeah. I think Morthal's there's nothing like that in Morthal that I can think of. There's no house or anything that you can really live in there. Like so that's definitely a good one to have. Because I think the other two Falkreath doesn't either, right? I'm trying to think of anything in Falkreath. Yeah, okay, so Falkreath and Hjalmarch don't really have anything like that. But the Pale does. Like I said, you have the Dawnstar Sanctuary, which is a pretty good. I mean, I don't think anything disappears. Like some shit, the chest reset and you're gonna lose whatever was in there. I don't think the Sanctuary did that, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
No. There was so like. In each of the places you could live, there was places where you could store things, and then there were chests that would reset. So, like if you were in the Thieves Guild before you had the Thieves Guild Master, like before you ran it all, you had like a bed and a little chest that you could put stuff in.
Okay.
But like, and nothing would disappear from the chest you put in by the bed. But if you put your stuff in the chests by the other people's beds, I think there was a percentage chance that it could disappear just because, like, something to do with the stuff that was in there originally respawning random things. It could just, like, wipe whatever the contents were and be like, no, this is the new thing that's in there.
Yeah, there were some chests that reset. Most of them outside of, like, houses and shit like that. Would reset, but not all of them.
Yeah,
it's kind of the amount of fucking info. Like you can look up any fucking chest anywhere and go online, and somebody already knows whether it resets or not. Yeah, it's pretty insane the levels, the amount of info you can get about this fucking game.
Yeah.
People are just so fucking dedicated to it.
Well, when it came out,
But yeah, those
it
houses were
was
nice.
a massive, incredibly graphically awesome game. Like, it was just like amazing compared to what was out at the time elsewhere. So it's not surprising people really enjoyed it,
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and so many people were so like interested to see what was what, you know. Because like I think everybody had the experience where they just started playing and like, I got all this stuff. What if I just store some in this barrel here by this building outside? You know, there's no reason it should disappear. I'm the only player
Yeah,
that goes through and steals shit from these barrels, so you know it should be fine. And then you put stuff in there, and then like you go back a few game days later, and you're like, it's all gone. It's all gone.
yeah, it's replaced with a fucking cast iron pot and a broom. What the fuck happened here?
And then I think there were like
Random
some
shit, you know, it's
wacky
always
glitches where you could actually get into like one of the houses early and use it, but they were saying like don't store stuff in it because then when you do buy it, eventually it'll reset
it
whatever
wipes
you've
it all
got
out.
stored in it or something. Plus you had all those like kids
You
you
know
could
what's
adopt. There was a lot of wacky shit for that game. I thought
Yeah.
adopting
You know what's
children
weird
was
though? What I would do is in Whiterun, when you first go into Whiterun, there's that little bridge that runs over that little fucking creek or whatever. Like it's what do you call it? The bed or whatever of the creek is just all like they put concrete through the whole fucking thing or whatever, or stones, not concrete.
Yeah.
But anyways, anything you dropped would never disappear. Like anywhere in like a city. Actually, I don't think I ever tried any other cities, but definitely in Whiterun. Like anything that I had extra, like before I had a house, I would just drop it under that bridge and then go get it later when I finally got the house, and it would never disappear.
Weird. That's kind of a weird one. I never heard that.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts, dude. So like if you put it in a chest anywhere, it could definitely disappear. But if you just dropped it on the ground, and then I'd put it under the bridge because when you go back to pick it up, or maybe it was just stolen shit already.
Oh.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, yeah, because again, a bunch of the shit would be stolen, obviously. Because I don't know about you, but I still
You gotta watch out for the red hot
anything I
chili
can.
peppers when you're under the bridge.
Indeed.
They'll steal your shit, man.
Thank you.
They'll sell
Yeah.
it for smack that they're gonna do under a bridge downtown.
Oh fuck. But yeah, any of the stolen shit, obviously you couldn't. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. Yeah, so basically it'd be easy to just pick it up because nobody can see you if you're under the bridge. So you just fucking crouch down and pick up all your stolen shit again. Bring it into the house. The house is right there. The house is like 30 feet away or whatever.
Yeah, what was it? It wasn't Skyrim, but I think it was the one right before that, Oblivion, where you could steal stuff, forget you stole it, and then go sell it to one of the people you stole it from by accident and get attacked.
Oh wow, no shit.
Like
That's
that
pretty
used to
fucking
happen
funny.
to me all the time. Like you'd be like, well, it'd be like you stole this thing from like this shop, and then you go and you do some shit in the game, and you finally got enough
can't
that
keep
you're
track of
selling
all
off
that shit.
again. And you go to sell him back his own fucking potion you stole, and he's like, "You motherfucker!" and tries to stab you. Like,
Yeah.
I always thought
Like
that
what?
was
I'm getting you half
entertaining.
back. Fuck. You probably had insurance on that shit. Fuck that guy.
That's right. We talked about Disney trying to sue everybody. I like the fourth graders watch Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Like everybody's treating it like this horrible thing.
Dude,
It's like, come on, whatever.
it's fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh yeah. But like they were talking about that teacher getting fired, right? I mean,
Yeah, I never got the full story. Did the teacher realize that they were doing that?
no.
Like, oh, here, Winnie the Pooh.
It was an accident. They thought they were showing a Winnie the Pooh movie, and it turned out to be blood and honey.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think the word blood in there would give a hint you might want to check it first, but whatever. It'd be an honest mistake. That is great that it's like public domain now and you can just do whatever the fuck you want with the character.
Oh man. Yeah, and it's can't come fast enough in my opinion. I wish they would have it happen more often to more people.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more stuff that needs to be. Oh, you see the YouTube channel that Samaj was pimping out?
Oh, I didn't check it out because it wasn't in English.
Oh, yeah, no, you don't need to speak language to fully understand why he's watching this channel.
Yeah.
Just go look at the thumbnails. Like, click on the channel and look at the thumbnails when you get a chance. It's just a bunch of ass. It's this lady who's making a series, and literally the whole series is her running around with her whole butt sticking out. And quite often her tits showing through her shirt.
Yeah, that's barely covering her nipples in this one. God damn. Yeah, you get a couple 100,000 views each, it looks like. Not much lately, I guess. It looks like it wore out about week and a half ago.
Well, that's the thing about selling smut is there's always newer, younger girls selling smut that are gonna you know, people are gonna get bored with you and they're gonna want to go and get from this other place that has better smut.
Yeah, indeed. Every single picture, dude. That's fucking amazing.
Literally, yeah, every video is just her ass hanging out. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And so blatant.
Yeah. Yeah, occasionally tits, but yeah, mostly ass.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot of times where, like, it's tits hanging out. Oh, all my neighbors have gone away again. Nice.
Yeah.
In Conan Exiles, you get a lot of people that show up on a server for like a week or two, and then they build a bunch of shit, and then just it disappears.
Yeah, they get bored with it right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long does it last? Like 2 weeks or something like that before it becomes public domain for you?
Oh, before the stuff goes away, it's during this summer it's like 2 full weeks, and in the regular year, rest of the year, it's 1 week. So like, or no, 10 days. 10 days. I wanted to say it's 10 days regular, like most of the year, and then during the summer vacation, like for school and stuff, it's 20 days. So for right now, I got like 240 hours on all the bases I walked into today. And all you got to do is log in for like 5 minutes and go walk around a little bit in each one of your bases. So like...
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, so there's teleporters in the game, and literally you can just teleport, you know, in like 15 to 20 minutes, you know, I can teleport and do all my bases once a day. And I do that because there's always some sort of weird thing cropping up, it seems like, where they'll lose shit, or they'll set a timer wrong and you'll lose a bunch of other things. And so it's like, you know, if I just check in about once every 24 hours, I don't lose anything ever. Like, even when they fuck up, I don't have to worry whether they're going to reset the game or not. Because they can roll back the servers a couple of days if they screw really, really badly up. But you know, people obviously get, you know, upset because they spent like 2 days doing work. Like collecting materials or getting experience, or, you know, catching thralls or whatever. And it gets undone. So that's, you know, fair enough. People get really mad about that. I don't blame them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty understandable. I wonder if you're in Arizona, if they give you a longer time for that summertime thing.
What do you
Since
mean?
summer's like 9 months of the year. Well, it's like 9 months of the year here, summer.
Oh, they're basing it off of school.
Yeah, I know, I'm fucking around, dude.
Oh, okay, okay. I
What
thought
I'm
you were
saying
serious.
is, yeah, it's the end of October and it's still 100 fucking degrees here.
Yeah, it's still pretty hot here. We're still using the AC pretty regularly. It's not the most pleasant temperature-wise.
Damn that global warming, climate change.
Yeah, it's because we're all using cars. We're monsters. I always hate that shit. Like they make people so stupid. You know, like your car is not what's making the problem. It's big companies.
Yeah.
Pumping out
big industrial factories.
thousands of pounds of pollutants a day, not the like 6 ounces you put out over the course of a year from your fucking car.
Yeah, and everybody like bitches at the U.S. but never mentions China.
Yeah, even though China is far worse than the U.S. will ever be.
Yeah.
It's like the plastic straws in the fucking places, or the paper straws. It's like our plastic straws aren't the ones going into the ocean. That's all coming from like, you know, Indonesia, China, Africa. Like, it's definitely not an American issue that's putting thousands of items of waste in the fucking ocean.
Yeah, but you can't bitch about them. It's racist or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's always racist. Yeah, that is fucking irritating. It's like, I don't like that movie. You're a racist. I don't think the garbage is coming from our country, and here's my reason. You're a racist. Like, I think you should come up with a better fucking reason.
Yeah, it worked for a while. You had a good 5 or 6 year stretch where it was very effective to just accuse people of being racist or being bigots or whatever. Not on me, but like a lot of people. But now everybody's like, well, you call everybody Nazis. You call everybody fucking racist. So
yeah, well that's how Mike ended his friendship with me.
oh yeah,
It was like,
good old Mike.
you're a Nazi. I'm like, what do you mean I'm a Nazi? You won't denounce Trump. I'm like, what are you expecting me to do? Like,
right.
am I supposed to make a speech about how he's evil? Because like I'm not. Like, because I don't. Not only do I not agree with that, I'm not gonna fucking do that. That's silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was Trump is a Nazi.
fucking...
I'm like, you think he's out murdering Jewish people? Yes. He's like, that's not what I meant. I'm like, that's literally what you said, dude. Like, literally your fucking comment. Like, it was very entertaining. There was another
when
guy
it gets
in
to the point
room.
where, anytime anybody you disagree with is a Nazi, you're obviously being very, very liberal. Not to be punny about it, but with the term
Nazi, yeah. That's kind of one of the problems is everybody wants to shortcut arguments by just saying, well, you know what, the other side is evil, so there's not even a point to having a discussion.
Yeah, it's much easier than having to actually craft a fucking, actually articulate your position.
Yep. Well, it's like, look at how many of those people got caught up in the bullshit and were like, yeah, terrorists are awesome. And you're like, whoa, Skippy, hold up there. You remember that whole 9/11 thing? I don't think you want to support terrorists in the United States, my friend. Like,
right.
They're not very understanding about this.
Yes, very retaliatory. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they were so used to it working. They're like, well, why stop now? I don't have to fucking actually justify my position with any kind of fucking
Argument of
factual
any kind.
statements or anything. Yeah. Just call them all Nazis. Tell them they're racist.
Yeah, I don't know. That's such a weird one. That's such a bizarre turn of events. Cause like, when I was growing up as a kid, like, there was never the push to be so angry about every little political issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you could you. I mean, and I worked at a grocery store for a little while, so you literally have situations where like people would just chat about politics in fucking line at the store, and they were fine. Nobody was evil. Nobody had to scream and cry. You know.
Yeah, you could actually state your position without fear of being yelled at or labeled as fucking evil.
Yeah, it was really strange. It was just like how it's gotten now is just so weird. Like, yeah. I don't understand why people are so unwilling to have like conversations anymore. Of course, then again, like there is that sort of a side of, there is one side of the political spectrum that just refuses to consider anything ever.
Well, they know they can't. I assume on some level they understand that their fucking position is stupid, and they've grasped onto an emotional level instead of like a factual, like fucking logical level. So you know what I mean? They can't really defend it. Just what they feel is right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, we really got a lot of people convinced that their feelings are what makes the difference between reality and not reality. And it's really disturbing in that respect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they're like, no, I'm just going to call you names. I'm not going to fucking justify my position. I fucking can't.
Yep, that is like, well, very true. Evil. That is very true. There's a lot of people that just do not want to. Yeah.
And again, it worked for 6-7 years or almost 5, whatever, for a while.
Very.
It seemed to be working. And then everyone was like, all right, this is fucking stupid. You're just calling me names without any justification instead of actually having a discussion or even an argument. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it could be heated if you're at least fucking doing something besides name calling.
Oh, yeah. You don't even have to have done anything wrong. Yeah. A lot of times
I just disagree with them, dude.
Yeah, you're just bad because it's like, because why? Because like
you're a Nazi.
For instance, the gal who is in the karaoke group, she'll come up and be like, yeah, you seem like the kind of person that's right wing. Like as if that's some sort of bad thing or something.
Yeah, well, in their mind, I guess.
She just wants to go start a fight, you know? She wants to have a reason to call you ignorant. And it's like she'll sit there and be like, well, you're just ignorant. You're ignorant. You're dumb. You're ignorant. You're stupid. And you're like, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't want to, I'm not going to have a conversation with you. You're being rude and dismissive. And you brought up a topic that nobody wanted to talk about anyway, because we're not here to talk about politics. We're here to fucking be goofy and sing songs and have a good time. You know, and here you are trying to start shit for no reason. And my favorite thing about it is just like, you know, anything you say, the answer is just no. There's never like a counter argument.
Yeah, just no, you're wrong. I'm not going to explain why you're wrong. You're just wrong. That's enough. You just need to know you're wrong.
Well, the problem is they've probably, here's my guess. I think the people like that have tried to explain why somebody is wrong when they're not, and got called out and just destroyed, like verbally destroyed. Somebody was just like, well, no, actually, if you look at the statistics here, and then gives them an example, and it's like makes a really well-reasoned argument, and they just can't accept they're wrong because being wrong is unacceptable to a lot of people now. That's another one that's kind of weird, like just like how, like, because everybody's going to be wrong about a lot of shit. Like, I know fuck all about like thermonuclear physics, right? So I could make a lot of suppositions about anything in that field, and I would just be wrong like 90% of the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not a bad person. I'm not stupid. I just don't know about that particularly specialized area of knowledge. Like, everybody's going to be wrong about a lot of things. I see a lot of people end up very wrong about very silly things where I work. Like, one of the things is recently... the bad lady quit. The bad lady that was fucking trying to screw everyone else over instead of, like, just doing a good job. She ended up quitting. Thank God she's gone. Well, but thank God she's gone, because she was getting people fired and, stuff that didn't need to get fired, that were good, workers that were doing their job correctly.
Yeah.
But she was telling people,
or she
like...
caused a bunch of damage and just quit.
Yeah, exactly. It's better that she quit than anything else. I would imagine she was probably asked to. She was trying to tell people that they weren't allowed to give the quitting smoking lozenges.
What?
So like, the clients we have are unwilling to regulate their smoking to the point where they have tobacco for the whole month. So they'll throw all the money they get down, and they'll buy all the tobacco they can, and then they'll just smoke it in a couple of weeks if we don't strictly regulate how often and how many cigarettes they can have. So they come in and get, like, essentially a half a pack of cigarettes in the morning, and then a half a pack of cigarettes in the afternoon, and that's what they get for the whole day is about a pack of cigarettes. Right? So once in a while, one of these guys will be like, I want to quit smoking, and they'll go to the doctor and they'll get, like, the lozenges or the patches or the gum or, whatever it is that they want to use. And so right now one of the guys is using the gum. And this guy has one lung, so it's really fucking imperative that this dude stops smoking. He's missing a whole lung already. And so, people were like, yeah, if he hasn't waited like the 2 hours to get the next piece of gum, call up the on-call management, or if your manager's there, talk to your manager, and they'll authorize you to contact like a nurse through like a Kaiser number, or more likely our nurse that we contact for psychiatric emergencies in the county. And she's a really good nurse in the county one, but they hate us calling because they're like, the answer. And it's like, yeah, but I can't make that choice because I'm not a doctor.
Right.
But they were telling this kid he couldn't access his smoking, his anti-smoking lozenges outside of regular tobacco time.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, from 7 to 8 p.m. they're allowed to have their cigarettes and smoke. And then 9 p.m. is like lights out. They're supposed to be in their room trying to sleep until 7 in the morning the next day. But, like, that's bad enough. And she's telling this guy, you can only have your nicotine lozenges during the regular hours of smoking if you have really bad urges to smoke at like midnight, you just can't get it. You're not allowed, and we're not allowed to do that. Like, that's not our choice to make. If it's prescribed by the doctor, we have to follow whatever the prescription is. So for something like the non-smoking lozenges, it's like you can have, I think, 20 or 30 of them a day or some crazy number, and you have to wait like 1 or 2 hours between or something. So for us, it's like, all right, well, we'll just have to give him one every hour, if he wants it.
Mm. So you can't just give him a whole bunch for the day because he'll just take them all?
No, you're not allowed, because it's a prescription. You can't give them all at once.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate, because I would say give him the fucking container and then just count them up at the end of the day, and he took that many.
Yeah.
But that's how I did my lozenges when I had them, because I would buy like 2 or 3 of the... Oh, like you... Yep, I completely forgot that.
Yeesh.
Let's see. I don't know if you watched the China's Most Hated Subculture thing, but that shit was hilarious to look at. More visual than anything else. They are goofy looking motherfuckers, but it's all visual. You kind of got to see it to really appreciate it.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That was about it.
I did like the story about the guy who told his wife that she's not as hot while she's pregnant. Because she asked him. She said, I want you to be honest with me. Am I as sexy now that I'm pregnant? 7 months as I was when we met. And he's like, not really, but I still really like you and I still find you attractive. Just like... And he was like, it's a realistic thing is it's pregnancy favors form over or favors function over form. It's not trying to make you attractive, it's trying to make a healthy baby. There's nothing wrong with that, is what he was saying. And everybody just hated this dude for it. They're like, you're an asshole. And I'm like, she shouldn't have asked the fucking question.
Mm-hmm.
She should know the answer. She shouldn't have fucking asked. And also, how ridiculous is it that you expect that he's going to always find you attractive 100% of the time? Like, you're gonna start thinking, oh man, I can't stand when he wears those shoes, or he's starting to get a gut, or whatever. Like, and women, it's okay for women apparently to just not always be attracted to men, but apparently if you're a dude, you got to be attracted to women no matter what sort of fucking thing is going on.
Yeah. Well, for me, I don't know, man. I found, a woman carrying my baby incredibly sexy, incredibly hot.
I think if it's your own baby,
I didn't mind.
That's different.
Yeah.
I would not find a pregnant woman sexually attractive at all.
Yeah, no, I definitely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't find women that are not carrying.
And that's what he was trying to convey was like, yeah, you're attractive. You're not as attractive as you are before you were pregnant, when you were like skinny and in great shape. But like, I don't know, man. I just thought it was funny because I'm like, dude is a hero because he was honest. Maybe he shouldn't have been honest, but I think he should have been. I think he was fair. Like, if you ask a fucking play dumb games, win dumb prizes.
Yeah. Although again, the whole reason she was asking was hoping that he was going to lie. You know what I mean? There's absolutely no other reason for her to ask that question.
But why would she be so obsessed with that while she's having a baby? Like, I don't understand the headspace.
Well, you're not a woman.
True, yeah, that's right. I'm an intelligent person.
Yeah, well, again, that's you're a man. For a woman, what's the most fucking determining factor in a woman's value? For the most part.
Oh yeah, because it's not personality. That's definitely not the.
Yeah, it's whether they're fucking hot or not. I mean, that's why they value it so much. That's why they shouldn't ask the question. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I gotta attack him. God damn it.
Oh, did you
All
see
right,
the
let's see.
fucking Moist Critical, like the crazy bandits who were like wearing traffic cones or boxes and shit over them?
Oh yeah, jeez, dude, that was fucking crazy.
I
They
don't know. It was
just
pretty
sneak
funny.
up. It's like some cartoon shit, right? It's
That's
like
a
a
that's a
fucking
good way to
old
put it. I never.
cartoon.
That's better. Yeah, it is exactly like a cartoon. I didn't think of putting it like that.
Yeah, they'd hide in the haystack and somehow lift up the whole stack and to whatever. Yeah, it's like cartoony shit, dude. It's fucking funny, dude.
Man, yeah, it is. It is classic.
I like the glitch in Skyrim where, like, because I'm trying to get actually, I've already got plenty of Black Soul Gems, but like, you go to like Thalion in Morthal, and he always has a Black Soul Gem for sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so basically, what you do is you buy whatever you buy from him. You stop, you save the game, and then you attack him. And then if you reload the game after you attack him, from again the point right before you attacked him, obviously, it actually resets their inventory.
Nice. That's weird. I would not have
Yeah, so you
expected
can buy
that.
another. Yeah, so you can buy another Black Soul Gem from them, like as many times. They'll do it like at least 20 at a time.
Pretty handy. I can see that being
Yeah,
very
yeah.
useful.
I think it works on. I think it works on any. What do you call it? Any shopkeeper or whatever. Anybody selling shit. I'm pretty sure it works on all of them.
I don't know. Never tried it. Crazy though.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, it works, man.
Like, what was that? You didn't want to sell me anything? How about I punch you in the mouth? All right, you got stuff to sell me now? All right, thought so.
Well, it technically never happened since you reset the game. So technically, you never attacked him.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah, you should definitely have to know you fucking attacked him. But yeah, that's definitely a handy one to have, since there's very few places that you can actually find Black Soul Gems. So yeah, definitely a very, very handy thing to have.
Yeah. You're just a racist. That's all it is. That's why you keep talking about Black Soul Gems.
Good point.
Really? That's that's you're gonna go good point on that one because I
I
feel
would
like
like
that
to
was
refute
a
You're dead on.
terrible point.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of that Senile Scribbles one. He's like, oh, they're Black Soul Gems, so they've got to be filled with black. And he's like, no, with any, yeah, any man or mare. It's not just black, red guards or whatever.
Gotta watch out for him.
That was one of the best parodies ever, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, well it was fun. It was also really nice that he did both the Fallout and the Skyrim.
Yeah.
God damn. Fucking the Japanese whipped cream sandwiches. That was some fucking crazy shit.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but I didn't get to watch that one either.
You get pretty much everything you need from the thumbnail. It's literally whole pieces of fruit. Like you peel like a tangerine. You get like a whole big sphere of tangerine. The sandwiches are the thickness of like one of those on its edge. So like they don't put on like some slices or chunks of fruit. It's literally like we're gonna put on like a half a pineapple, 2 kiwis, like 3 tangerines and like these grapes that are the size of golf balls.
Damn, dude.
And then they cover it in like 2 inches of whipped cream on both sides with white bread on the outside. And it's like a sandwich that people buy to eat for lunch or breakfast.
It's like a dessert sandwich. Jesus Christ.
It's exactly. It seems kind of like a shortcake to me, but without the cake. Just shitty white bread takes that place.
That seems like it would be an American thing. I'm surprised that's happening in Japan, to be honest with you.
People mistakenly think the Japanese food is uber healthy. It's really not. The typical day-to-day food is pretty healthy. There's a lot of seafood and a lot of vegetables and pickled vegetables and fruit and stuff. But like,
right.
When you talk about the stuff you buy like convenience stores and in restaurants, nah, that stuff's way, way less healthy than a lot of what we have in a lot of cases. Like it's just they don't eat it as often. So like, in the U.S., there's going to be somebody who's going to eat those fucking fruit sandwiches like every fucking day, twice a day. In Japan, most people are going to do it like once in a month. They might buy one of those on a really hot day because it's refreshing to have a cold whipped cream and fruit sandwich.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, their culture is just really, really different about that. It's
it's like an occasional indulgence kind of thing, not an everyday.
But like sushi and stuff, like there's a lot of like fried sushi and deep fried shit and greasy, oily shit and mayonnaise on everything. It is definitely not like the healthiest of fucking meals. A lot of cream cheese, a lot of fucking avocado.
Mm.
Yeah, you
sounds
really,
delicious.
Oh yeah, sushi's fucking great. I highly recommend eating sushi whenever you get a chance. But healthy it is not. It is not the healthiest fucking meal out there.
Yeah, dude. Like even obviously the sushi may have, but like even that you get from like a fucking supermarket is like kinda, so not great, but it's decent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like the closest the store that's closest to my house here is fucking. They actually have a little fucking section, like a little fucking kiosk type thing, where this Japanese couple just makes sushi.
Yo, the horn dog has arrived.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, I saw that channel you were pimping out on Gaming's Discord.
Oh, yeah.
That YouTube channel. Now we know where you're going when you're muting and deafening. We're like, oh, he's watching the booty channel.
You did? Oh, that one. Oh, okay. I thought you meant the one I just posted today. It's like,
no,
what
the booty channel where the lady goes around with like her ass hanging out of everything.
See, I don't know if she's walking around with a thong on or something. I can't tell. I literally can't tell. They edit it so that way you'll never know. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. They are just skirting below all of this, aren't they? Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're breaking all the rules. I don't know. Maybe YouTube doesn't care. But yeah, I it's my new favorite channel. They tried to do like serious storyline stuff early on, and then they thought, we don't really have to do that. We just have to film women walking around wearing barely anything. It's like, yeah, I mean that's all you gotta do. And it's available on YouTube, so there you go.
Yep.
I thought you were talking about the link I posted earlier. I just posted it in the general. It's it's a thing mostly about like dating advice.
Gaming advice. Yay.
Yeah, the dating stuff is modern day dating is weird and dangerous. Women have
Yeah,
such
I don't know how
high.
people do it.
I mean, the level of expectations that women have is just so insane. It's like, not to mention, like, aftercare is so important. It's like you can't just cuddle and then like the next day say, hey, I'm sorry, I have to go to work. We have to get going. And it's like, I'll drop you off or whatever. It's like, you would think that's just a normal thing. It's like, oh yeah, you gotta work, whatever. Well, if a woman decides, well, you didn't do proper aftercare, then she can rescind all that consent and say, like, oh yeah, you had your way with me. Like, you can ruin his life. I hear that kind of stuff, and it's a very common thing. It's like, if you're gonna go on a random hookup, make sure you have nothing to do the next day. Dating is creepy.
And then the hooker gave the money back. No.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, God. That would be the end of the world as we know it.
Flipping with the heart of gold.
Doesn't exist.
Yep.
It's like as real as Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. Oh, how are you preparing yourself for Ben Shapiro in drag as Snow White?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what to think about that.
I want to see it. I can't fucking wait. Like, I have a feeling neither of these movies is going to be really that good. I think they're both going to be just fucking terrible.
Well, the
But
Snow
I'm
White
really
one.
looking forward to the Brett Cooper one because you know it's going to be fucking ridiculous.
Well, the Snow White one. I don't know if you heard. That's essentially been canceled. That movie ain't coming out. And
Oh, the Disney Snow White one you think is not
Yep.
coming out?
yeah, and,
Well,
and the
it
reason
looks like
is-
they're thinking of suing the people that are making the new Snow White.
Yeah, well, the reason why it's just like every metric of this Disney movie has shown that it's going to be a failure. It's not going to make the money, and not only that, it's going to be like a socially terrible to make this movie because nobody wants to see it. Everyone's unhappy. It hasn't even come out yet, and people are already like hating it. So it's like what's the point of even releasing this movie? It's not going to do you any good, and it's just going to hurt your bottom line. So
I think what they do is they release it, lose all that money, and use that as an excuse to just fucking destroy everybody that had anything to do with making fun of it or making their own version, like the Daily Wire, and use that as an excuse to go after them for money and be like, we wouldn't have lost money if they hadn't made that and stolen our market.
Well, the other reason why they're not going to release this movie, and at least I'm suspecting, it's because Disney's having a bunch of its investor calls or things coming up, and they keep losing all this money, and they have to explain why they keep losing all this money, and it's getting to the point where people are actually, starting to threaten to sue because Disney is It seems like Disney is purposely losing money. So that's part of the reason why a lot of the movies that are supposed to come out, they've all been delayed. All the Marvel movies, with the exception of the Marvels, that's coming out regardless. But after that, everything else has been delayed. There are no animated movies coming out. There are no Marvel movies. And as far as I can tell, there's no more Star Wars coming out. Nothing is in production. Nothing. And that's because everything has to be a hit. So from whatever comes out now, it's coming out because it has to. After that, they're not doing anything else. The Snow White one is such a disaster. They can't afford it. They fired the main actress. She's not working on this movie anymore. They're going to recast everything. They're going to just redo the whole movie, just make it cheap. And they're going to call it something else, like Winter Beauty or something. So yeah, they can't afford it. And not to mention, like, Bob Iger, like, a lot of his stuff is coming out of the closet now, and things are not looking good for him. So,
damn.
Like when he wasn't the CEO of Disney and he was doing his own thing, he was doing investments on like 3D printed rockets to the moon, which that didn't pan out. He invested in in some tech thing that just went bombs up. It's like everything he did failed miserably.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he can't keep failing. So we need some successes.
No, no,
So
Hollywood's the place where you fail up.
yeah, well, it doesn't seem to be that way anymore.
Oh, maybe they
Can't-
started actually counting pennies.
Yeah, well, everything's losing money. Like you have the Disney parks are losing money, the movies are losing money. They had some video games and stuff; those are losing money. Everything is losing money, and they cannot keep this going. So they need successes. So like, yeah, pretty much at this point they need to stop what they're doing and like, nah, we need hits, and they need to start doing it like on a budget. So now they're gonna start saying, yeah, we're gonna be making cheap movies now, which I'm all for. I think if you make a cheaper movie, it'll probably be better.
True. I think there's right now
Yeah,
is a
but,
good time to try to make your own film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I feel like they need to stop with the live action remake.
Oh God, yes, they need to stop. I'm done. Everyone is done. They used to think that was a safe
Apparently,
bet. They thought that was a
apparently
safe
they're doing
bet.
a gargoyles one. They're gonna do a fucking gargoyles.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I hope not.
Well, it's probably going to be too expensive. Like, I think that they're trying to drum up interest. So you're going to hear a lot of things coming out to test the waters to see if people are really interested. I don't think Gargoyles is going to work. Well, and I don't think any of this is going to work because, like, Disney has hurt its brand so much that you mention Disney anything and everyone's like, no, don't do it, no, because like you heard Gargoyles, we all us Gargoyle nerds were like, no, don't do it. I love this show, don't do it.
Hey, don't ruin this for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the right people, like, okay, you can win me over if you do a good job. I don't believe that they can, unless they can. I don't know. I know that they've been firing a lot of people behind the scenes, so I mean, maybe they're turning a leaf and maybe they're trying to make it work. But I have no faith. I have no faith that they can pull off of Gargoyles anything right now.
Yeah, I don't want them to make anything. As long as race swap bullshit, I would rather they just do nothing.
Yep.
For a while.
Which reminds me,
Fucking
did you hear
true.
about South Park?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Disney's going after them now.
Because their little special they have going on there. Man, I'm looking forward to this special. They literally gender swapped and race swapped the main cast, with the exception of Kyle because he's Jewish, and it's just there to poke fun of that. And like Disney's trying to sue, and they've been trying to get this special canceled because they found out about it a long time ago. So, I hope it comes out. In fact, I know it's going to come out because it's the South Park guys. They're literally saying "fuck you," and Comedy Central has to back them because it's like Comedy Central's got nothing but South Park. That's all they can. That's all that's keeping them afloat. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Well, I thought I already subscribed to that booty channel. All right, my bad.
Oh, apparently Urkel was not well liked by the rest of the cast of Family Matters.
Family Matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that surprising.
They brought him in and people were like, I fucking hate this nerdy bitch.
Well, yeah, because they probably thought they had like a nice wholesome family comedy show, and then we got like this clown comes on there and steals the entire show, and it becomes the Urkel
kind
show.
of like Jimmy Walker with his Dynamite fucking becoming more popular than all the other characters back in the day.
Indeed.
That might be before y'all's time. My apologies.
Is that someone's dog sleeping in the background?
No, sorry, I have a little bit of a stuffy nose.
Ah, are you also sick?
It's just like when the seasons change, I get a little stuffed up for a brief period of time, and it's
Gotcha.
just taking a really fucking long time for the seasons to change. Oh, there was a video game I saw out that I thought looked pretty cool. RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
The new RoboCop FPS game looks like you're like feel like RoboCop. Like you don't run, you just walk.
Mm-hmm.
You're like super fucking powerful, so you don't have to really worry about getting shot. You just shoot the bad guys and fucking blow them up, and it's blood raining everywhere. I'm like, that's the charm of the film right there, baby, right there. That actually looks kind of cool.
Yep.
You get to shoot between a chick's legs and junk behind her, like in the movie.
I did not see enough gameplay to know if that scene is put in the game. I would imagine. I hope.
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome.
Oh, and then that
That's such an
streamer.
insane thing to put in that fucking game in the movie.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, fucking insane, but yeah, badass.
Although if there was somebody's dog on the stream, it would probably be Daytois.
Yeah, no, I'm. The puppy doesn't come over till.
Ah.
My son's working the graveyard, so he'll drop him off at like 9 o'clock.
Mr. Somali is probably going to go to prison and have a very bad time. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but
yeah, fuck that guy.
But the Japanese government was basically saying like, well, he won't admit to the things he's done, so we'll use these very interesting forms of torture to get him to admit to what he's done, and then we shall put him in prison for a long time, so he can think about what he has done and why it was bad. So yeah, he's fucked. He apparently doesn't want to like cop to anything, and so they're basically saying like, no, we know you're guilty. You have to say you're guilty, and until you do, we will use what was it they were saying they're going to do? Sleep deprivation, sound torture, and there was a couple other things they were going to throw in to just, get him to swing around to being willing to admit his faults.
Wow, they can actually do that. That's fucking pretty
yeah,
fucking badass.
It did not sound like he's going to enjoy time over there, and it's he doesn't seem to understand they're not fucking joking anymore.
Yeah.
And that's not an American
moron,
prison. And our prisons are bad as it is. But they're bad because they're full of shitty people.
Right.
Like Japanese prisons are bad because they're going to actively torture you.
Yeah. They're going to fuck with you the entire time.
Oh, and apparently Amber Heard has been removed from all the Aquaman 2 shit.
Huh.
Good.
She's not allowed to go to the theaters for the like she's not doing any of the promotional stuff. She's not allowed to go to the theaters. I don't know if they actually are removing her from the film, but I was kind of surprised to see that whole thing it was even still a thing. I thought basically everybody was like, well, it sucks because she got away with it. No consequences for her professional life for being a piece of shit. But at least we all know she's garbage and no one will go watch her film, so she's not going to make as much money anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But now it looks like she might actually be losing Aquaman 2, which would probably be the only film that would still have her.
Yeah, well, it was shot before. Most of it was shot like before the case, right? Like shot a while ago.
I don't know.
I mean, got reshoots and all that, but I'm pretty sure that was mostly shot by the time or started even.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of nice that they're finally addressing it and being like, yeah, we don't want her, any part of our promotional stuff and any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, very good karma wise. That she actually suffering the consequences of her actions.
Women will always
Shitty.
be ready to leave
Because
you.
she's
That's a
just
surprise. Somebody didn't know this already.
right. A woman not taking accountability? What? That's never happened.
Well, it's interesting. So they did an experiment with chimpanzees where they taught them how to use money. Right? So they give them like tokens, and they take these tokens and they could go get candy. And apparently chimpanzees fucking love candy. They just fucking love it. We'll do anything to get candy. And so immediately, when they finally figure out the concept, the first thing that happens is all of the male chimps start giving their money to the female chimps so they can fuck them.
I feel like you didn't need a study to figure that out, but
Yeah, but I just think that might tell you a lot about women in general.
yeah. Not just men and women. Yeah.
Just in general,
This
like
is what
how that
definitely
works.
happened.
I think we used to have a system in place where there was some form of morality sort of imposed on people through like the concepts of marriage and societal pressures, and it was really beneficial because it kept couples together and didn't really give them the option to basically go out and whore it up to whoever they wanted as often as they wanted, and it was very good for society. And we're headed towards a really shitty way now because we're going to start dropping in population pretty quick.
Well, sort of. I mean, it's going to be offset by a bunch of immigration, which I don't know how long that's going to work because I know a lot of people are going to start getting deported once the governments switch over. So we'll see what happens.
The whole thing heating up over in the Middle East with Israel and Iran and all these other countries that are starting to get involved little by little, our borders are gonna get shut down pretty quick.
See,
I have a
I'm
feeling
not.
because I think that people are just gonna absolutely go fucking apeshit if they're not, because there's gonna be a lot of terrorist attacks on us if we
Yeah,
don't.
I think that's going to definitely have an effect. Where I'm most concerned of, because I'm not all that concerned, because what'll happen, it's like I said, like we'll get new governments in here, and then we're going to start deporting a bunch of these people. So I think over time that's going to sort itself out. And if they start performing like doing terrorist attacks and stuff, that's just going to speed up the process. So I think that will sort itself out. Where I think they're going to have a much harder time because there's way more people there are places like in the United Kingdom, in the UK. Have you seen their streets? Have you seen their population? They have a ridiculous amount of immigrants over in that area.
Oh,
So
the
much so,
immigrants exceed the people.
exactly.
Almost.
And I don't know how you're going to fix that. I don't know. I don't think there is a fixing. And a lot of them, get to stay because a lot of them had kids. And a lot of them, like they have their green cards and stuff. I don't know how you fix that. I have not a clue. And without a like
You know what
outside
fixes that kind of thing really, really well, but no one's ever going to consider, and it's sad?
Mm.
Bullets. Bullets fix that really easily.
Maybe. I don't know.
When you have an invading force, I feel like you don't show them any sort of sympathy or mercy.
Well, that
regardless
depends
of
on
how they invaded or why they invaded, I think you fucking kill them. But that's just me.
Well, I mean, a lot of them have been there for a while, and a lot of them, like I said, had kids and families and stuff. So I don't know how you get those guys.
You're more
gone.
forgiving than I am.
It's just the rule of law they have there. I mean, I hear what you're saying.
In the UK.
I hear what you're saying, but I mean, they have these rules set up for a reason.
I think that what needs to happen in society in general is, we need people to stop rolling over, but who's going to start it, right?
Well, I don't know, man. Like they outnumber the population, so it's like at this point like London in particular, these places are gone. Like these people are not going to. They're able to vote, as far as I can tell, and they're not going to vote against their own best interest. Essentially, the UK is done.
Have you seen what happens when white people get organized? Like, there's a lot of things to be said about a lot of different groups of races and their sort of cultural skills and strong suits. And I think that when it comes to being organized and diabolical like that, white people kind of are very good at that part of it.
I'll believe it when I see it. Unfortunately, white people have been awfully limp-wristed and heavily cucked in that area. I don't see them doing that. I would like it. I'd hope for it, but I don't see it happening. I see like probably some outside intervention to try
Yeah.
and save them. And I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's true. And social media does a lot of misinformation, just on everything. Like not on any particular type of misinformation. There's just fucking tons of it out there. Like there's this YouTube Shorts thing that kept popping up in my feed, where it's this dude who's obviously like a British Indian doctor supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
And he's constantly telling, oh, this is how you got to eat, like these foods, and it'll make you so much healthier. And it just so happens that everything he advocates you eat is Indian food.
Mm.
Like everything is a different Indian dish that you would get from like a restaurant if you were to go to like India or something like that. And it's like, gosh, how curious that all of your health cures are just your culturally preferred meals. And so you get so many people who see that kind of shit and they're like, oh, well, he says he's a doctor, so it has to be true. Like, I have to go eat, like, chicken tahini or some shit. Like, it's so fucking dumb. Or chicken masala, that's the one, yeah.
Or buttered chicken or some other nonsense.
It's bizarre. Or like, here's one that my mom bought onto that was the dumbest shit I've ever heard. All these people that are shoplifting, they're like Robin Hood. They're shoplifting stuff to sell it cheaper to people that can't afford it in the stores.
Yeah.
And her reasoning was because they steal baby formula. I'm like, number one, I guarantee they're selling that baby formula for more than the stores sell it for. And number two, breast milk. Like if you can't afford to buy formula, breast milk, feed your baby breast milk. And if you can't, if you can't be home to do it all the time, you can pump it out and freeze it and warm it back up and feed it to the baby then. Like there's all these different ways to do that you don't need formula that are much, much less expensive than buying it anywhere because you don't have to buy it at all.
Well, and formula is not that good for the baby anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Breast milk is way better for the baby. Way better.
You get formula only because you can't do it the natural way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's not true. You're only supposed to use formula if you can't do it the natural way. But there are a lot of people who just don't want to. Like, that's one of those things I've been seeing a lot on social media lately. Women getting called out who are like, I just don't want to raise my kid. Like, they'll go and like, there was one I saw where it was a lady talking to her husband. And she's like, I don't want to deal with kids anymore. I want to just go out and party whenever I want to go party. If my friends call me at 3 a.m, I want to go drinking. And I'm just going to leave them with you and I'm done. And you're just like, that's mind-blowingly ridiculous. And then there was another one where it was like this girl, she had like 3 kids with her, and she was just trying to leave them at her grandma's house, or at their grandma's house, her mom's house. She was just like, you're gonna raise them because I don't want to. My boyfriend doesn't want kids. And the grandma was like, child, I am not gonna fucking raise your children. That is not gonna happen. You are not leaving them here. It was just like. Because it was a black lady, and she was not having that.
Good.
But it's like I that suddenly seems to be more of a thing. Like you see people leaving babies in dumpsters, and so it's like a really fucked up situation with that. That seems to be a rising trend of women who are like, I just don't want to have to be a mom, so I'm just going to throw my baby away or give it to somebody else. Make it their problem.
Yeah. now you wonder why there's a declining in the population. It's like because women are in Spain.
Well, that's the thing. That's why, like, the pressure to have married couples is so important. Is it's really fucking hard to take care of a child. For anybody who's ever had to do it for any length of time. You know, I had a little taste of it where throughout, like, most of high school, I had to get my sister up and, like, get her ready for daycare and take her to daycare before I went to school. And there was a lot of times when I would have to take care of my sister for, like, a weekend or something because my parents were working or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, and that was just a small taste of what it would be like to raise a child. And I was just like, fuck it, that's miserable. I don't want to do that ever again.
Yeah, raising a baby is a lot more labor intensive, and it's frustrating because especially if they get sick or something, like they can't tell you what.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's an incredibly frustrating part of it. Plus, again, just so much. You got to constantly change diapers, feeding them. Yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty labor intensive, man.
Cleaning your own clothes because they fucking vomit on you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nutty, and they don't even always sleep through the night for a very long time. Like, it takes a while to get to the point where the baby will sleep for more than, like, 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Mm. Yeah. My son was actually really most, but it's still, having to fucking wake up in the middle of the night.
See, if I have a kid,
although I could really just go back to sleep. I didn't have to breastfeed him, so
exactly.
I could just go back to bed. Like, honey, that's you. Sorry, I'd lactate if I could. I'd fucking lactate in a second if I could.
Yeah.
Then it should be like, I put it in a bottle in the fridge, just heat it up. It's like, God damn it.
Nah, he needs a fresh one. He needs it fresh, and then they
Fresh
get up there.
from the titty.
Get in there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not easy, and there's a reason why it's better when it's a mom and a father both raising kids together, because then there's a team doing it, and it's much easier on both of them. Financially, as well as just, getting sleep and getting having time in the day to do all the stuff that needs to be done. So it's like we really need to put more pressure on people to be in couples and be married and be, like, in real relationships.
Yeah, and there's women that have fucking kids and stand.
Oh, and they're also convincing women to have children late in life. Like, they're, like, trying to teach them that, like, oh yeah, dude, when you're 30 or 40 is your best time. That's not true.
That's the worst advice to ever give them. Like, you have to have them in your 20s.
No, you are much safer having. Yeah, you're much, much safer having kids in your 20s than in your 30s or 40s if you're a lady. There's a whole lot more health risk involved. You're much less likely to survive the process in your 30s and 40s. But then again, they're mutilating children in schools, so whatever. This dude found out now in Washington, apparently, the schools can just start prescribing and giving your kids medication without your permission or knowledge entirely.
Yep.
That is fucking nuts, dude.
Right?
That
like,
is
he just found out
insane.
that they just put his child on antidepressants. It's like, that's fucking insane.
Wow.
And you look in the comments on there, and I'm sure half the comments are bots hired by, some fucking billionaire that we'll never know his name, who wants to fucking destroy society, George Soros. But, like, just the number of people that seem to agree with that were like, well, maybe he really needs them. Well, maybe that's up to his fucking father and not up to the fucking school. Like, how do we know that the school is any better or less abusive than the father? First and foremost, and then also, why you just assume that the father is abusive?
That's just it's something that's been programmed into us since, like, the 70s. Actually, probably even earlier than that. So we're trying to say, oh yeah, men are the abusers, like, 90% of the time, and it's like, well, you could say that, but then you're also
it's not true at all. But yeah.
Well, if you take out, like, if you take out what the woman's
claim it.
I mean, it takes two to, like, it's not like men just out of nowhere just decide to be abusive. It doesn't happen. It's always build up. And on top of all that, I mean, Like, the woman has the power to leave. She doesn't have to stick around. Even if she
Yeah.
gets married, I mean, there's all these no fault divorce and other kind of bullshit. Like, she could leave at any time.
Oh, I'm fine with divorce being allowed. I think you can't not allow divorce. That would be terrifying. But
Uh,
just because like
uh,
that's a really dangerous thing to put people in that situation because a lot of people are gonna die then.
What's terrifying is Joe Biden's chin. Did you see a picture I just posted in the random? I
Yeah,
mean,
and
in the
what is
general?
going on with his chin? Did it break? Is it falling? Is he
Uh,
melting?
I have no idea.
It's like
Uh,
he's a candle that just started getting burnt. You know, like I don't.
it is a frightening situation. I don't know what that's all about. Also, he just didn't make any sense.
It's like they
They were.
sewed the testicles of a small child into his face.
I mean, that could be. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? But I thought I'd post that picture because it's been all over the internet today, and I'm so frightened. It just does not fill me with confidence.
Yeah, he is the nuclear football. Like we should all be terrified. He was doing a speech in front of the military, and legitimately, like it was just he just started babbling about nonsense. Like he just started just saying words like that had no real fucking connection to what he was talking about, like or what he was doing and where he was.
Yeah, it's
It was
absolutely gibberish.
terrifying.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's absolute gibberish.
Like I
That's
think he
kind of
started
like,
talking about the economy. Like there was like a graduation ceremony in the military, and he's like, "I do the economy. I millions of dollars. Oh, million money. I did it good. You know." And you're just like, "Fucking what?" That's the president, yo. Like, why is he still in charge? Like, we should have thrown his ass out a while ago because he's fucked in the head.
hmm
It's not like Kamala Harris taking over would be like less of a Democrat president. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
would rather have Kamala Harris in charge because that's who would be in charge if they removed Biden because he's clearly mentally incompetent. So it's not like they're going to put a Republican in
Yeah.
charge. Like it's going to be Kamala Harris, but like that's the reason you have a vice president. It's the president's fucking delusional. You don't want him in charge
Yeah.
of the
Completely
nuclear
fucking
fucking
demented.
weapons.
Yep. We're in a weird
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Like, I heard that there was like talks to try and get him impeached. I don't know how that's doing.
Who with the what?
Well, there. Okay, so do you remember back when those rich guys were in that submarine to explore Titanic, and then they all died?
Yeah. The guys that had the deep water vessel for the Titanic. Yeah.
Well, okay, and the news media was just talking about that nonstop. Well, if you look at the other stuff that was going on at that time, there were other things. Like apparently there was impeachment stuff was going on to try and get Joe Biden out.
Yeah,
There's
there was an attempt. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah. There was like a whole whack of other stuff in this, and nobody knew any of this was going on because of the whole submarine stuff. But yeah, there was the attempt to get him impeached. I don't know how that's going. No one's covering it. As far as
Well,
I can tell,
it's based on all of the stuff to do with Hunter Biden.
yeah. Well, as far as I can tell, it's still happening.
Yeah. Oh, they're still
So
pushing it through. The problem is the majority is still Democrat. The government is still largely run by Democrats, and so they're protecting Biden because they don't want the scandal of a sitting president being removed. Because again, it would still end up being Kamala Harris, even if they remove Joe Biden because he was a criminal. They're not going to remove her. They just don't want that scar, even though it's pretty obvious that he was. Like all the evidence is out there now. He took money for political favors from other countries. He literally sold his services to foreign powers for cash.
indeed,
Like, and that's not just like a felony. That's what do you call it when you betray your country?
treason.
Yeah, that's treasonous. Like that escalates into treason. He should be being like executed by the government. Like that's what you're supposed to do with treason.
We'll see if that ever happens. Probably won't.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not going to go through. Like they're never going to get it through. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's really shitty because they're doing it for the right reasons. They're looking at like, oh yeah, he did all this horrible illegal shit. We should get rid of him, and then yeah, it's just not going to happen. But that's always been like how they kind of do it, where they like do the wag the dog bullshit, where they're like, we're gonna hide this and you know, we're gonna, you know, oh look what's going on with, you know, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Don't pay any attention to the Middle East, you know, like just that kind of shit always happens.
I used to float, now I just fall down.
Yay!
Yay!
Isn't
I have
the
to head
world so
out.
cheerful?
I know, right? I'm gonna leave you on a sad note. Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, I got nothing for you. I gotta go take care of something. So
All right,
I
peace
will.
out, man.
Peace out. Here's hoping the next time I talk to you guys, here's hoping next time I talk to you guys, it'll be about good stuff.
Yay!
Probably not, but we can all hope.
We can all hope. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. You too. Yeah.
Well, that is everything we had in the Discord.
Yeah. There's got to be something else happening.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff going on. I just don't know anything else. Oh, you didn't watch any of the Poppy the Performer stuff, I imagine.
No. Honestly, I've been obsessed with the with my football team being really, really good this year.
Oh, really?
Because they're normally horrible.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they usually don't do very well, but they're doing better this year.
Yeah, and it's very odd because like the two worst franchises over like the last 30 years or so are the Lions, my team, and then the Browns. They're in different conferences, so they could potentially meet the Super Bowl, right? Like they're both really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would worry about the apocalypse about to happen if they both made it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, there you go.
Like I'm not generally religious, but both of those teams that have been the worst fucking franchises over the last 30 years or so, meeting in the Super Bowl is kind of terrifying. Not even particularly religious, but it definitely seems like the I keep thinking of the Bill Murray's character in the original Ghostbusters, you know, dog and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Yeah. Fun time.
All right, I don't want to talk too much about it. I just wanted to throw that concept out there. I know you don't want to talk about fucking
I know nothing
sports.
about sports, so I don't really have much to
Yeah.
to give you.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like qualifying it and like explaining to you how fucking insane. So it's not even regular real world shit. Like even the sports world is going all tops.
Yeah.
That's all. You
It's
don't have to talk about
sad.
specifics. Not breaking down film about the game or something.
So sad.
Yeah. Plus World War III potentially happening any day now. That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there is always World War III coming.
Yeah, I'm always curious because like leading up to World War I, like did everybody know? Did they realize it was about to happen?
Well, one of the things
You
that
know
I
what I'm
think people don't realize in Tim Pool, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of Tim Pool, but he does rightfully point out, for instance, the Civil War took 20 years to fully, like, come to fruition and be done. So, like, we're kind of, like, in another Civil War. We're just not at the end game of it. We're in the beginning game of it. Like, it's when we, it's hard not to say that we're in one because, like, they're trying to put Trump in prison because he's a political opponent of Biden, you know?
Yeah, it's quite blatantly politically motivated. I don't think anybody believes otherwise, right? Like,
it's impossible. You have to be absolutely fucking moronic to think anything else. Because, like, literally, like, the law is very, very clear that they're trying to push the law. They're bending the law all out of any sort of, like, reality to go after him. Because as the president, when he took those documents, the very process of him taking them made them legal for him to have.
Yeah.
Like, there is no way for him to take those documents and then have them in his home that's illegal because he was the president. It's not possible. Like, it just negates any illegality because he has the authority to just do that.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, dude.
It'd be like,
what does he have, like 3 different fucking places trying to fucking convict him now?
Yeah, they
it's
keep
like
trying,
New York,
and they keep trying
Georgia.
to, like, it's always closed courtrooms. It's always, you know, like these obscure laws that they're trying to use that don't really apply to the situation, and it's usually activist judges who are trying to bend the law in ways that just clearly don't work. And it's clear that they know they're not going to get a conviction. They know they're not going to get him in prison. I think what they're trying to do is make it so that they can figure out a way to get him off the ballot altogether.
Yeah. Or at least keep him busy where he can't really campaign. That's probably part of it too.
Either one, yeah. Or that's probably the secondary is that hopefully this much stress and other shit is going on that he'll either drop out or just he won't be able to garner enough, like, support. Although I think he's winning in the polls now.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't matter if he wins in the polls because they're just going to fix the votes, and I don't think people are very realistic about that. Like, they seem to think there's going to be some sort of, like, difference between the rigged election we had the last presidential election and the rigged election we're going to have in the next presidential election. Like,
that's the thing I found out is, like, people seem to think that that's not going to happen again.
Yeah,
no,
by magic too. It's like there's no reason to think that it's not going to happen again. It's just magical thinking.
Yeah. Very odd.
They would never do that a second time. Well, you thought they'd never do it the first time. You know? Like,
nothing happened. Like, there's no fucking negative consequences from people that shit.
It happened. It's happened multiple times before. Like the Bush Jr., both of his elections were rigged. Like when George Bush Jr. got elected both times were rigged elections. Like, one of them was even rigged in the state his brother was the governor of.
The West Palm Beach fucking bullshit.
That's on par with the governor of your state who's counting the votes for her own election. They literally let one of the candidates count the fucking votes for her own election. That's insane.
But again, nothing happened. Nobody fucking rioted about it or fucking even protested it.
Well, I think people are afraid to protest because they get the those little fuckers come out with their little fucking weapons and they get to do whatever they want, but anybody that fights back gets arrested.
Or January 6th. Look at all the shit that happened to all the people in January 6th, dude.
Yeah, the police literally invited them into the building and were giving them tours. And now they're trying to put people in prison for going on a tour led by a police officer.
Yeah. But people still got convicted. People that weren't even there got convicted.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the really fucking
mind.
wacky things, yeah. Like, you're convicted of treason for this. It's like, he wasn't even there. That's the other thing they're trying to pin on Trump.
Yeah.
They're literally trying to say Trump made it
Yeah.
happen. And it's like, he literally said, peacefully protest. He literally said, keep it peaceful, no violence. He was very clear on it, on what his intentions were.
That was a dog whistle. That was obviously a dog whistle, dude.
Yeah, but you can't punish for people
So
for
fucking
something they
dumb.
didn't say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be
Yeah,
like, well,
no,
I don't
it's
think that
ridiculous,
you meant
dude.
it, so I get to put you in prison now. Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, but he blinked. He blinked when he said that, so that's like a wink.
Yeah, it's about the level of all those court cases
some
they're trying.
Stupid shit.
Because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like that and the documents thing. One of the things that it didn't take off at all, but they tried to push as propaganda, was that Hamas got all of the information that they needed to get into Israel from Trump's documents. Which is, if you know
Wow.
anything about
Okay.
security, the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Like, do they really
Yeah, that's
think
pretty
that
fucking
Hamas
wow.
didn't make any changes over the last, like, 4 fucking years? You know, like, or not Hamas, that Israel just didn't make any changes in their security system after Trump was no longer president?
Yeah.
That they wouldn't have been like, all right, we're going to change passwords, right? Like I guarantee you, every month, or if not every week, passwords, systems of observation, everything is changed on a regular basis, constantly in Israel when it comes to
Yeah.
security. I guarantee you, there's nothing
Yeah, it would
static
be
going on.
insane.
There's not like a fucking.
Yeah, it would be insane.
There
if it
wasn't
was.
some fucking password to some secret door, and all the you know, here's where all the guards are placed in Israel that was in Trump's fucking documents. There was no secret password that just deactivates the security system. You know, like, that's not how that works. Like, that's not how modern. Like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It was like, you gotta be kidding. It was on par with the, like, they're stealing to feed the poor. Well,
Right.
first of all, 90% of what they're stealing is nothing at all to do with food or anything that people need. It's luxury items like electronics and designer clothing and shit like that. Second of all, the shit you're using as examples would be cheaper if they just didn't buy it, and they don't need it.
Yeah, it's all pretty fucking ridiculous. The shit they're claiming.
Yeah. Well, and it gets pushed on, like, television and a lot of these TikToks and YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, how would you ever legislate the lies out of the media? That's the part that's kind of crazy, because the government can't regulate what people are and aren't allowed to say. But would it be like antitrust laws where it's like, hey, you know, there's only like 4 people and they own all of the media? Like, you can't have 4 people own all of the media. It has to be owned by, like, hundreds of different companies.
Yeah, I think that's the way it was for a long time, and I think it was Clinton that fucking stopped that. If I remember correctly, Clinton was the one that, like, signed off on, like, oh no, anybody can. Because, yeah, it used to be like you could only have certain amounts and a certain amount of fucking markets and that kind of thing. So everything was kind of independently owned by a bunch of, you know, smaller companies.
Yeah, because, like,
And then
you
he
know,
did away with that.
there's various different newspapers that are available in my area, and they shouldn't all be owned by the same person. It should all be owned by independent companies that are not corporate owned. I think the big problem is they need to stop allowing corporations entirely. Where it's like, you can own a business, you can own multiple businesses, but only if you're running them. You know what I mean? Like, you're not allowed to just own,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the
It's just not
percentages of all these
corporation
companies and you know, use a front man to own all these other companies through that company. Like I think that's got to be done away with. You shouldn't be able to own that level of stuff just because it destroys the capitalism. The capitalist
Yeah.
aspect of our economy is destroyed in that respect. Like I don't think we should
Right.
allow the
Yeah.
super wealthy. I mean I'm sure that's a thing that a lot of communists would agree with me on. Although they'd probably disagree with me on how to do
Yeah.
it. But I don't think we
Yeah.
need the billionaire class. I think that's a class that needs to be done away with.
Mhm.
But maybe that's just me.
Yeah. It's tough to know how to go about it, but
Yeah, I'm not sure how you would do the things I think need to be done, but I think you need to do away with the billionaire class, and you need to do away with the companies, the people that own like, you know, everything.
yeah. Yeah. When's the last time any kind of antitrust suit was taken up by the government?
We got
Bill
Google.
Gates,
Let's find
maybe?
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Bill Gates, and then he donated a shitload of money to fucking politicians being prosecuted for antitrust shit anymore.
I'm looking it up right
Now
now.
you can make all this money, but we need a cut. Otherwise, you're a criminal.
December
So
2020 was the last time there was an antitrust, and it was against Facebook.
and I'm guessing they were not found guilty.
I don't know. It was the thing about they acquired Instagram, WhatsApp, and like they were starting to look for other companies to suck up that were social
Yeah,
media.
yeah. When's the last successful one? Was it fucking AT&T? Was it that a fucking corporation was actually broken up for having a monopoly?
Let's see. Antitrust suit was successful. The last time the U.S. broke up a monopoly was the AT&T in the 80s. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That seems a little
But
suspicious, right?
then, like AT&T basically became the only option for fucking long distance anywhere. It was just different names for the same company. Like they didn't really even break it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a bunch of, they broke them up all into the little Bell companies, like Bell, fucking,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was Ma Bell and then all her little kids, and they all worked together because they were all part of the same company. It's like PG&E.
Yeah,
PG&E is like a monopoly that's allowed everywhere, and it's probably one of the worst for the lower classes because the more money you charge for energy, the poorer the poor classes get. Like that's a really big part
Yeah.
of having cheap energy allows poor people to move up in class
Yeah.
because
They don't want that happening.
Yeah, exactly, and
Yeah,
it's exactly because that because like then they have the option to have like a washer and a dryer, so laundry is easier and it doesn't take up as much of their time. Dishwashers save time, cooking on a stove, all these things that like are modern conveniences. People don't realize is a big part of why we have so much bigger of a middle class than a lower class, although that's rapidly changing.
Right.
It's having those
The
conveniences
disparity's
that we
getting
didn't
more
historically have. Of course, the serfs couldn't really do much to like fight back against the overlords because they were forced to do like 16 hours of labor a day to survive. So what time did they have to get together and do anything to like take back their freedom? Because I know that the electrical bill went from in 2001 in California. The electric bill for like a 4 or 5 bedroom house would have been like 50, $60 a month. Now it's like $500-$600. And their justification is that people are using too much power every year. But here's the thing. There's no price break for a specific low amount of power. You have to just use less than you used every year. Or you get charged more. And so, like, at a certain point, like, you're using the bare minimum, and there's no price break on that. You don't, like, you still have to, you get charged, like, the upcharge because you're not using less. Even though you're at, like, the lowest sustainable rate of electrical use. It's similar for water, unless you're rich. If you're rich, you can pay all the fees, and it doesn't matter. You know, you can use as much water as you want. But if you're poor, you got to use less water every year than you used the year before, even if you're at the lowest minimum amount of water you could possibly use.
Yeah, no, they definitely want to keep the lower class right where they're fucking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's really disgusting.
Yep. I'm kind of out of stuff, man, honestly.
There's got to be something else happening out there.
Well, I was looking at it. It's already 5:30, and I got to take a shit. So,
Yeah.
might be a good time to stop.
Yeah. You want to call it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's watching anyway.